I was born and brought up in this part of Germany, and although I've lived in the UK for the past 40 years and represented the constituency of Birmingham-Edgbaston for 20 years, my family still live here and I've kept many links. I was chair of Vote Leave, and together with only a handful of other Labour MPs, we campaigned to leave the European Union because we thought the country would be better off outside. It's hard to remember now that back in the 1970s, when we joined the European Economic Community, people thought that by joining the club we would see the kind of economic miracle Germany experienced in the 70s back home. The Deutsche Wirtschaftswunder would come to Britain. But of course, it didn't. Within a few short years of the devastation of World War II, Germany had emerged as the largest economy in Europe. Germany's extraordinary success is down to the pragmatism of its business.
German Mittelstand is family dominated, forward-thinking, long-term thinking, reliability are very important values. Changing moods on a political landscape and changing frameworks are toxic for our way of doing business, and we want that to go away.
German business is not given to making big political statements out of step with government policy, but talk to those in decision-making positions, and it is clear that they want to secure a good deal with the United Kingdom. BMW employs almost 90,000 people here in Germany and exports just under 1 million cars annually. The UK is a vital market.
What we're really seeking right now is more clarity, more certainty. Because in our cycle of investment, cycle of development, it's about a 7-year or so period that we look at. But we're now, of course, starting to think about what comes next. And what we need to see now is what is going to be the trading relationship, how are the logistics going to look, what is going to be the requirements for people moving across the continent, because all of these things are important to us today, and by the way, they will be just as important tomorrow.
Berlin is well aware that if the European Commission is allowed to put up trade barriers against Britain, it will be German business, German consumers and German employees who will suffer.
I think it's very important that we complete the first phase successfully. The first phase of the negotiations, which looks at the financial consequences of Great Britain leaving the EU. And then it's not a question of punishment payments. It's about when you are part of a multi-layer contractual obligation and you want to leave that. Then, of course, it takes a whole lot of obligations which you have to deal with, so both sides are satisfied and can live with the consequences.
It is in everyone's interest for the UK to part on good terms. Of course, there was going to be upset when the UK voted to leave, but creating uncertainty over the terms of UK's exit will simply have a disruptive effect on exports to UK markets. Far better to have a sensible, amicable negotiation that results both sides being able to trade together and work together post-Brexit. Markus Krall is Managing Director of Goetz Partners and heads the financial institution industry group. So is it true to say that if we negotiate Brexit well, then a good Brexit can actually strengthen the United Kingdom, the European Union and Germany?
It's absolutely true. I think that this is about two things. It's one about proving that free trade is possible between a European Union that is smaller and a former member country. If you don't prove that free trade is possible there, then the question becomes, what is Europe standing for? Number two is that I also believe the free trade, free market and democratic and less bureaucratic approach that the UK has chosen as the path into the future is a role model for Europe.
The time's come both for the United Kingdom and for the EU to be more clear about what kind of deal we can achieve. Both sides need to be bold. As long as we remain open to free trade and sensible cooperation, we can arrive at something that will benefit both sides. But one thing's obvious. If we are an open and free trading economy, we've got one big cheerleader on our side, and that is German business.